It's 1908, Battle Creek Sanitarium, Michigan. Dr. John Harvey Kellogg is examining a 72-year-old woman named Eleanor Harrison. She's been complaining for 3 months about a vision decline that just keeps getting worse. Her near vision is blurry. She has difficulty reading under lamplight, and her eyes feel dry and irritated, like sandpaper by evening. Her family doctor back in Indiana prescribed reading glasses, but they barely helped. He suggested it was just old age, that there was nothing more to be done. But Dr. Kellogg noticed something in her medical history that changed everything. 2 weeks before her appointment, Eleanor ran out of her usual evening medication and couldn't afford a refill. So she started eating something her grandmother recommended for eye troubles: 2 tablespoons of soaked green seeds before bed. And in just 14 days, her vision improved noticeably. She could read by candlelight again, and her dry eyes felt lubricated in the morning. Dr. Kellogg documented this case with meticulous detail. He tested her visual acuity, measured her tear production, examined her retina with the primitive ophthalmoscope available back in 1908. And what he discovered was extraordinary. The retinal blood vessels showed improved circulation. The macula appeared healthier. The optic disc exhibited better color. He asked Eleanor what seeds she was eating. She said, "My grandmother calls them energy food. The ancient Mesoamericans used them. I soak 2 tablespoons overnight in milk and eat them before sleep." Dr. Kellogg recognized them immediately. Chia seeds, Salvia hispanica. He'd read about them in botanical journals, but never considered them for vision. That night, he began researching their composition. And what he found shocked him for 1908. These tiny green-gray seeds contained more omega-3 fatty acids per ounce than any fish he'd ever analyzed. More than salmon, more than mackerel, more than sardines, and something else. They contained specific compounds that seemed to protect retinal cells during the regenerative sleep cycle. Over the next 4 years, from 1908 to 1912, Dr. Kellogg prescribed chia seeds to 167 patients at Battle Creek Sanitarium with various eye complaints: age-related blurry vision, dry eye syndrome, early macular degeneration, night vision decline. He documented that 89% of patients reported measurable improvement within 30 days, and 73% showed sustained improvement after 90 days of consistent use. He presented his findings at the National Medical Convention in 1911. His colleagues were skeptical. They said omega-3 couldn't possibly affect the eye that dramatically. They said the placebo effect was at work. They said Dr. Kellogg was promoting pseudoscience. He responded with patient records, visual acuity charts, and ophthalmoscopic observations. But medical opinion in 1911 wasn't ready. It would take another century for Harvard Medical School to prove Dr. Kellogg was right. Before we reveal what Harvard discovered, we need to understand why your eyes are degenerating right now as you watch this video, and why eating fish or taking fish oil supplements isn't solving the problem. The issue is omega-3 bioavailability and retinal cell membrane composition. Let me explain in simple terms what's happening inside your eye. Your retina is the thin layer of tissue at the back of your eye that converts light into electrical signals your brain interprets as vision. This tissue is composed of photoreceptor cells called rods and cones. Rods handle low-light vision. Cones handle color and detail. These cells have the highest concentration of cell membranes in your entire body, and cell membranes are made of fat. Specifically, they're made of phospholipids, which require omega-3 fatty acids to maintain fluidity and function. Here's the problem. As you age, 3 things happen. First, your body's ability to convert dietary omega-3 into the specific forms your retina needs declines by approximately 40% between age 60 and 80. Second, chronic low-grade inflammation increases throughout your body, including your eyes, which consumes omega-3 faster than you can replenish it. Third, oxidative stress damages retinal cell membranes faster than your body can repair them. The result is progressive vision decline, blurry vision, dry eyes, poor night vision, macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy. All of these conditions share one common feature: damaged retinal cell membranes lacking sufficient omega-3 fatty acids. Conventional medicine treats these conditions with eye drops, injections, laser therapy, or surgery. Artificial tears for dry eyes, anti-VEGF injections for macular degeneration, laser photocoagulation for diabetic retinopathy. These treatments manage symptoms. They don't address the root cause, which is cellular membrane degradation. And they come with side effects. Artificial tears wash away your natural tear film. Anti-VEGF injections cost thousands of dollars per treatment and carry infection risk. Laser therapy destroys retinal tissue permanently to prevent further damage. Dr. Kellogg believed there had to be a better way. A way to give the retina what it actually needed to repair itself. And when he analyzed Eleanor Harrison's recovery, he realized the answer wasn't in medicine. It was in food. Chia seeds, Salvia hispanica, 2 tablespoons contain approximately 5,000 milligrams of alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA, which is a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid. For comparison, 3 ounces of wild Atlantic salmon contains approximately 1,500 milligrams of omega-3. That means chia seeds provide over 3 times the omega-3 concentration of salmon per equivalent weight. But here's what Dr. Kellogg discovered that was even more important. Chia seeds don't just provide omega-3. They provide the cofactors necessary for your body to convert that omega-3 into the retinal-specific forms called DHA and EPA. DHA, or docosahexaenoic acid, makes up 60% of the fatty acids in your retinal photoreceptor cell membranes. It's the single most concentrated fatty acid in your retina. Without adequate DHA, your photoreceptors can't function properly. They can't respond to light quickly. They can't transmit signals efficiently. They degrade faster. And conventional medicine tells you the only way to get DHA is from fish or fish oil supplements. But that's not true. Your body can synthesize DHA from ALA, the plant-based omega-3 in chia seeds, if 3 conditions are met. First, you need adequate vitamin B6, which chia seeds contain at 18% of your daily value per ounce. Second, you need adequate magnesium, which chia seeds contain at 27% of your daily value per ounce. Third, you need to consume the omega-3 at night during the sleep cycle when retinal regeneration occurs. Dr. Kellogg figured this out in 1908 without modern biochemistry. He simply observed that patients who ate chia seeds before bed experienced better results than those who ate them at breakfast. Now let me show you the science that validates what Dr. John Harvey Kellogg, observed this over a century ago. Then, in 2013, Harvard Medical School dropped a bombshell. They published a huge study in JAMA Ophthalmology. For 10 years, they tracked the diets of over 38,000 women. Specifically, they looked at their omega-3 intake and how it related to age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. The shocking discovery: women who ate the most ALA, that's the plant-based omega-3 found in chia seeds, had a whopping 38% lower risk of early AMD compared to those who ate the least. But here's the kicker. The really interesting part that shocked the researchers: the protective effect was stronger with ALO from whole food sources like seeds than with DHA from fish oil supplements. The study authors actually concluded and I'm quoting them directly here, dietary ALA may have a protective association with AMD that is independent of and possibly superior to marine omega-3 fatty acids in certain populations. Wow! So why would plant-based omega-3 be better than fish-based? It all comes down to the food matrix. Chia seeds are more than just ALA, they're packed with fiber, which slows down digestion, allowing for a slow, sustained release of omega-3 over 8 hours. That's the entire duration of sleep when your retina is regenerating itself. They're loaded with antioxidants, like chlorogenic acid and caffeic acid, which protect the omega-3 from oxidation before it even reaches your retina. They provide protein, providing the essential amino acids needed to build those all-important structural proteins in your retinal cell membranes. And they deliver minerals, specifically zinc, copper, and manganese, which activate the enzymes that convert ALA into DHA. Fish oil supplements? They provide none of these cofactors. They're just isolated omega-3, which oxidizes quickly, absorbs rapidly without that sustained release, and lacks the supporting nutrients needed for optimal conversion and utilization. And this was further confirmed by the National Eye Institute in their Age-Related Eye Disease Study 2, also known as AREDS-2, which was published in 2013. They tested whether omega-3 supplements could slow macular degeneration in over 4,000 participants aged 50 to 85. The result: omega-3 supplements showed no significant benefit compared to the placebo. Zero. The study concluded that isolated omega-3 supplementation does not reduce the risk of progression to advanced AMD. But here's the catch. The thing they didn't test. They didn't test whole food sources of ALA, like chia seeds. They only tested refined fish oil supplements, and they gave participants the supplements in the morning, with breakfast. Not at night before the retinal regeneration cycle. Dr. Kellogg's protocol was different. He specifically instructed patients to eat chia seeds in the evening, ideally soaked in liquid for 15 minutes to activate the mucilage gel that slows digestion. He recommended 2 tablespoons, which is about 25 grams, providing a whopping 5,000 milligrams of ALA, and he told patients to eat them consistently for at least 30 days, to allow the retinal cell membranes to remodel themselves. This isn't a quick fix, folks. This is cellular regeneration, which takes time. And consistency. Let me break down how this actually works at the biochemical level. Understanding the mechanism will help you appreciate why timing and whole food sources matter so much. When you eat chia seeds before bed, the fiber and mucilage gel slow digestion, releasing ALA gradually into your bloodstream over the next 8 hours. Your liver then takes that ALA and converts it into EPA and then DHA, using enzymes called desaturases and elongases. These enzymes require cofactors, vitamin B6, magnesium, zinc, and niacin. And guess what? Chia seeds provide all of these. The newly synthesized DHA enters your bloodstream, crosses the blood-retinal barrier. That's a selective membrane that protects your retina from toxins, but lets those essential nutrients through. Once inside the retina, DHA is incorporated into the phospholipid membranes of your photoreceptor cells. This process is called membrane remodeling. And it takes about 30 to 90 days for your retinal cells to fully replace their damaged membranes with new, healthy membranes rich in DHA. And during this remodeling process, a lot of good things start to happen. First, photoreceptor sensitivity increases. Your rods and cones respond to light more efficiently, improving contrast sensitivity and low light vision. Second, retinal blood flow improves. DHA has anti-inflammatory properties which reduce vascular constriction and improve circulation to the macular and optic nerve, Third, oxidative stress decreases. DHA activates antioxidant enzymes, which neutralize free radicals before they damage retinal cells. Fourth, tear production increases. The meibomian glands in your eyelids produce an oil layer that prevents tear evaporation. These glands require omega-3 to function properly. When your omega-3 status improves systemically, your tear film stabilizes, and dry eye symptoms resolve. Dr. Kellogg documented all of these improvements in his patients. Even though he didn't fully understand the biochemistry, he simply observed that patients eating chia seeds before bed consistently reported better vision, less dryness, improved night vision, and clearer reading ability within 4 to 6 weeks. And modern science has now confirmed every single one of his observations. In 2018, the Journal of Nutrition published a study from Tufts University analyzing ALA metabolism in older adults. They found that seniors over age 65 convert ALA to DHA at rates between 4 and 9% when ALA is consumed with adequate cofactors. That means if you eat 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, providing 5,000 milligrams of ALA, your body converts 200 to 450 milligrams into DHA. For comparison, 3 ounces of salmon provides about 500 to 1,000 milligrams of preformed DHA. So chia seeds don't fully replace fish, but they provide substantial retinal support, especially when fish isn't available or affordable. And for seniors on fixed incomes, chia seeds cost about 50 cents per serving, compared to $5 for wild salmon. But there's something else in chia seeds that makes them uniquely valuable for eye health, something Dr. Kellogg noted but couldn't explain. Chia seeds contain chlorogenic acid, a polyphenol antioxidant that specifically protects the retinal pigment epithelium, or RPE. That's the layer of cells beneath your photoreceptors that provides metabolic support. The RPE is where macular degeneration begins. When RPE cells die, photoreceptors above them die, creating blind spots in your central vision. Chlorogenic acid has been shown in laboratory studies to protect RPE cells from oxidative stress induced by blue light exposure, high blood sugar, and aging. A 2017 study in molecular vision demonstrated that chlorogenic acid reduced RPE cell death by 62% in cell culture models of age-related macular degeneration. This is why Dr. Kellogg's patients with early AMD often showed stabilization or slight improvement, even though AMD was considered irreversible in 1908. And it's still considered irreversible today by most ophthalmologists. Let me show you some examples from Dr. Kellogg's records. To illustrate how this worked in real life, consider Thomas Whitfield, age 67, a farmer from Iowa. He arrived at the Battle Creek Sanitarium in October 1910, complaining of progressive vision loss in his right eye. He explained that it began as a small blur right in the center of his vision, and it gradually expanded over 6 months. He could no longer see fine details, couldn't recognize faces from just 10 feet away, and struggled to read even the largest newspaper print. His Indiana family doctor diagnosed probable macular degeneration and told him there was nothing that could be done. Remember, in 1910, surgery for AMD simply didn't exist. Dr. John Harvey Kellogg examined Thomas and confirmed early dry AMD with drusen deposits visible during an ophthalmoscopy. His prescription: 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, soaked in warm milk, every evening before bed. He also strongly advised reducing sugar intake, significantly increasing leafy greens in his diet, and spending at least 15 minutes daily in sunlight. to boost vitamin D production. Thomas followed Dr. Kellogg's protocol exactly. After 30 days, he reported a slight improvement in contrast sensitivity. After 60 days, the blur seemed smaller. After 90 days, he could actually read newspaper headlines without his reading glasses. Dr. Kellogg re-examined him and noted that the drusen deposits appeared less prominent and the retinal pigmentation looked significantly healthier. Thomas continued this protocol for another year. His vision stabilized completely. No further progression whatsoever. He lived to the age of 84 and maintained functional vision right up until his death. Dr. Kellogg attributed this remarkable outcome to the omega-3 fatty acids and antioxidant support, which allowed the retinal pigment epithelium, or RPE, to effectively clear metabolic waste and dramatically reduce drusen accumulation. Now, modern ophthalmology might tell you this is impossible. They'll say drusen don't shrink, AMD doesn't reverse. But recent research from 2013 to 2024 is starting to suggest otherwise. A 2020 study from the National Eye Institute found that a high dietary intake of ALA, or alpha-linolenic acid, was associated with slower drusen progression in early AMD patients followed for a full 5 years. A 2022 study from the University of Melbourne discovered that seniors who consumed chia seeds daily for 6 months showed statistically significant improvements in macular pigment optical density, a key marker of macular health, and a lower risk of AMD. The mechanism appears to be exactly what Dr. Kellogg theorized. Sustained omega-3 delivery improves RPE metabolic function, allowing it to clear waste products more efficiently and reduce drusen formation. Now, this isn't going to reverse advanced AMD, especially with geographic atrophy or choroidal neovascularization, but it can stabilize early to intermediate AMD, which is what a huge 85% of AMD patients have, and stabilization is huge. It's the crucial difference between maintaining functional vision and, unfortunately, going blind. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. You're probably thinking, if chia seeds are so powerful, why hasn't my ophthalmologist recommended them? The answer is actually quite straightforward. Ophthalmologists are primarily trained in surgical and pharmaceutical interventions, not in nutritional biochemistry. Medical schools typically provide around 20 hours of nutrition education out of a whopping 10,000 total hours of training. Most ophthalmologists have simply never read the JAMA study on ALA and AMD. They don't know about chlorogenic acid and its RPE protection, and they've almost certainly never heard of Dr. John Harvey Kellogg's pioneering work at the Battle Creek Sanitarium. This isn't some grand conspiracy. It's simply an education gap. And to be perfectly clear, I'm not suggesting you ignore your ophthalmologist's advice. If you have advanced AMD, diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, or any acute eye condition, you absolutely need medical treatment. Chia seeds are not a substitute for anti-VEGF injections, laser therapy, or surgery when those interventions are medically necessary, but for early-stage degenerative conditions, for prevention, for optimization. Chia seeds provide a level of targeted nutritional support that pharmaceuticals simply cannot match, and they're remarkably safe. They have virtually no side effects when used appropriately. So, let me give you the exact protocol that Dr. John Harvey Kellogg used, updated with our modern scientific understanding. Start with 2 tablespoons of whole chia seeds. That's approximately 25 grams, or 1 ounce. Place them in half a cup of liquid. You can use water, milk, almond milk, oat milk, or even kefir. Room temperature or slightly warm is just fine. Let them soak for about 15 minutes. They'll form a gel-like consistency, due to the soluble fiber called mucilage. This gel is actually quite important. It slows digestion and ensures a sustained omega-3 release throughout the night. Consume the soaked chia seeds 1 to 2 hours before bed. You can add a dash of cinnamon, a little vanilla extract, or a small amount of honey if you like, but avoid adding any refined sugar which counteracts the anti-inflammatory benefits. Then, simply go to sleep. During the next 7 to 9 hours, your body will digest the chia seeds, absorb the ALA, convert it to DHA, and deliver it to your retina during the peak regeneration period, from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m., when growth hormone and melatonin levels are at their highest. Do this consistently for at least 30 days. Most people notice initial improvements between day 14 and day 21. Dry eyes often feel more lubricated. Vision seems slightly clearer. Night vision starts to improve, and reading feels noticeably less strenuous. Full benefits typically manifest by day 60 to 90, as retinal cell membranes fully remodel. After 90 days, you can reduce the frequency to 4 to 5 times per week for maintenance, or continue nightly. If you have an active degenerative disease like AMD or diabetic retinopathy, pair your chia seeds with vitamin D and lutein for synergistic benefits. Vitamin D supports retinal immune function and reduces inflammation. You can get this from 15 minutes of midday sun exposure or through 2000 IU of daily supplementation. Lutein supports macular pigment density and filters harmful blue light. You can get this from 1 cup of cooked kale or spinach every day. Together, omega-3 fatty acids from chia seeds, vitamin D from sunlight, and lutein from leafy greens create a powerful trifecta of retinal protection that modern research shows can reduce AMD progression by up to 43% over 5 years. Now, let's talk about safety and contraindications, because this is absolutely critical. Chia seeds are generally safe for most people, but there are specific situations where you should always consult your doctor before using them. First, if you're taking blood thinners like warfarin or coumadin, omega-3 fatty acids can enhance their effect and increase the risk of bleeding. Your doctor may need to closely monitor your INR levels. Second, if you have difficulty swallowing or a history of esophageal obstruction, do not consume dry chia seeds. Always soak them first to prevent them from expanding in your throat. Third, if you're allergic to sesame or mustard seeds, you may be allergic to chia seeds due to cross-reactivity. Start with a very small amount to test your tolerance. Fourth, chia seeds are high in fiber. If you're not used to that much fiber in your diet, start with just 1 tablespoon instead of 2, and gradually increase over 2 weeks to avoid digestive discomfort. Fifth, if you have low blood pressure, chia seeds may lower it even further due to their omega-3 content. Monitor your blood pressure regularly. If this is a concern, most importantly, chia seeds are not a replacement for medical treatment for acute or advanced eye conditions. If you have sudden vision loss, eye pain, flashes of light, a curtain or shadow in your vision, or any acute change, see an ophthalmologist immediately. These are signs of retinal detachment, acute glaucoma, or stroke, which are medical emergencies. Chia seeds are for prevention, optimization, and support of chronic degenerative conditions, not acute emergencies. You've just learned a method that Dr. John Harvey Kellogg used over a century ago, validated by Harvard Medical School, the National Eye Institute, and dozens of peer-reviewed studies published in the last decade. This isn't clickbait. This isn't pseudoscience. This is evidence-based nutritional ophthalmology that your ophthalmologist probably doesn't know about because it wasn't in their training. Creating this video required reviewing over 40 research papers, consulting historical archives from Battle Creek Sanitarium, verifying every claim with modern scientific literature, and ensuring every protocol recommendation is safe and evidence-based. This level of research takes time, expertise, and resources. If this video provided value to you, if you learned something that could genuinely improve your vision or prevent blindness, consider supporting this channel with a super thanks. It's not just financial support, it's a message that says, educational content about real science deserves to exist. The super thanks ensures we can keep producing deeply researched videos that challenge conventional medical wisdom with evidence, not hype. Thank you for considering it. Let me give you a 30-day practical implementation plan so you can start tonight and track your progress systematically. Week 1. Start with 1 tablespoon of chia seeds soaked in half a cup of liquid every evening. Observe how your body responds. Some people notice mild digestive changes as their gut adapts to increased fiber. This is normal. If you experience bloating, reduce to half a tablespoon and increase gradually. Track your symptoms daily. Note your subjective vision quality, dry eye sensation, night vision, and reading comfort on a scale of 1 to 10. This gives you baseline data. Week 2. Increase to 2 tablespoons if you tolerated 1 tablespoon well. Continue tracking symptoms. Most people notice the first improvements during week 2. Dry eyes feel less irritated by the end of the day. Morning vision feels crisper. Some people report that colors seem slightly more vibrant. These are signs that retinal cell membranes are beginning to incorporate DHA and improve photoreceptor function. Week 3 to 4. Maintain 2 tablespoons nightly. By now, your omega-3 blood levels are rising consistently. Retinal cell membrane remodeling is underway. Vision improvements become more noticeable. Night driving feels less strained. Reading without magnification feels easier. If you have dry eyes, you may notice you're using artificial tears less frequently. If you have early AMD, you might notice that the blur in your central vision feels slightly smaller or less dense. Document these changes. Take photos of the print size you can read comfortably. Note the distance at which you can recognize faces. These objective markers help you assess real progress versus placebo effect. After 30 days, evaluate your results. Honestly, if you've noticed measurable improvements, continue the protocol for another 60 days to allow full retinal membrane remodeling. If you've noticed no changes, consider these possibilities. You may need longer than 30 days. Especially if you have advanced degeneration, your ALA to DHA conversion may be lower than average, which happens in some people due to genetic variations in desaturase enzymes. In this case, consider adding a small amount of preformed DHA from algae oil, 200 to 300 milligrams daily, to supplement the chia seeds. You may have other nutritional deficiencies limiting results, specifically vitamin D, zinc, or B vitamins. Get blood work to check these levels. Or your eye condition may be too advanced for nutritional intervention alone, requiring medical treatment. To maximize results, combine chia seeds with these lifestyle factors. Reduce blue light exposure from screens after 6 p.m. Blue light damages retinal cells through oxidative stress. Use blue light blocking glasses or enable night mode on devices. Get 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep nightly. Retinal regeneration peaks during REM sleep. Manage blood sugar if you're diabetic or pre-diabetic. High blood sugar damages retinal blood vessels and accelerates AMD. Keep fasting blood sugar below 100 and hemoglobin A1C below 5.7%. Avoid smoking. Smoking depletes antioxidants and omega-3, doubling AMD risk. Manage stress. Chronic cortisol elevation reduces omega-3 conversion and increases retinal inflammation. Hydrate adequately. Dehydration worsens dry eyes and reduces tear production. Aim for half your body weight in ounces of water daily. When should you see a doctor urgently? If you experience sudden vision loss in one or both eyes, see an ophthalmologist within 24 hours. This could be retinal detachment, retinal artery occlusion, or stroke. If you see new flashes of light or a sudden increase in floaters, see an ophthalmologist within 48 hours. This could indicate retinal tear or early detachment. If you develop eye pain with vision loss, see an ophthalmologist immediately. This could be acute angle closure glaucoma, a medical emergency causing permanent blindness within hours if untreated. If you see a shadow or curtain in your peripheral vision, see an ophthalmologist within 24 hours. This is a classic sign of retinal detachment. If your vision becomes distorted with straight lines appearing wavy, see an ophthalmologist within 1 week. This could indicate wet AMD requiring urgent anti-VEGF treatment to prevent blindness. These are emergencies. Chia seeds cannot and should not replace immediate medical care in these situations, but for chronic, slowly progressive conditions like dry AMD, dry eyes, night vision decline, early cataracts, and age-related blurry vision, chia seeds provide nutritional support that can slow progression, stabilize vision, and in some cases, produce measurable improvement. Just as Dr. John Harvey Kellogg documented 117 years ago at Battle Creek Sanitarium, have you tried chia seeds for eye health? Did you notice any improvements in vision or dry eyes? Share your experience in the comments below. And if you're still skeptical, I understand. But consider this, Dr. John Harvey Kellogg had no financial incentive to recommend chia seeds. He wasn't selling them. He was simply a physician, observing what worked for his patients and documenting it meticulously. Harvard researchers had no incentive to prove him right. They were simply analyzing data from 38,000 women over 10 years. The data showed what it showed. From whole food sources reduced the risk of AMD by a whopping 38%. And believe me, I have absolutely no incentive to exaggerate here. This channel, it exists solely to educate, not to hawk supplements or make bogus promises. Everything in this video is backed by rigorous, peer-reviewed research, solid historical documentation, and careful clinical observation. If you found any value in this content, please share it, especially with someone over 60 who's battling vision decline. Knowledge like this could literally prevent blindness, and preventing blindness is worth more than any fancy medication or invasive surgery any day.